We have breaking news on the Eastern European front. Ukraine accuses Russia of escalating drone attacks in the Black Sea region.
Today we are diving into one of the most shocking and controversial military stories to emerge from the modern battlefield, a story that sounds unbelievable at first but becomes more intense the deeper you go. The claim that Ukraine managed to steal, seize, or seriously compromise one of Russia's most expensive and powerful strategic bombers, the Tu-160, sent shockwaves through global defense circles. Valued at nearly $500 million, the Tu-160 is not just a bomber, it is a symbol of Russian air power, nuclear deterrence, and national pride. When whispers began spreading that Ukraine had gained access to critical elements of this aircraft, analysts around the world paused and asked the same question: how could something like this even be possible? The Tu-160, also known as the White Swan, has always been more than metal and engines. From the outside, its massive presence dominates any runway it occupies. The aircraft's long, sleek fuselage stretches forward like a spear, while its variable geometry wings rest wide when parked, giving it an almost graceful appearance despite its enormous size. Painted in a distinctive white finish to reduce heat buildup at high speeds, the Tu-160 looks elegant, but that elegance hides devastating power. This bomber was designed during the Cold War to penetrate deep into enemy territory or, more importantly, to never need to. With long-range cruise missiles on board, it can strike targets thousands of kilometers away without crossing hostile airspace. That capability alone makes it one of the most dangerous aircraft ever built. As reports emerged about Ukraine's alleged involvement with the Tu-160, attention quickly turned to where and how such an event could have taken place. Russian strategic bombers are usually kept at highly secured airbases, far from the front lines, protected by layers of air defense, surveillance, and counterintelligence. Yet modern warfare has shown again and again that security is not just about distance. Drones, special operations, cyber infiltration, and insider vulnerabilities can reach places once considered untouchable. Whether Ukraine physically accessed a Tu-160, sabotaged one, or obtained sensitive systems or data, the implications remain enormous. Inside the Tu-160 is where the story becomes even more fascinating and alarming. The interior of this bomber reflects decades of strategic thinking focused on endurance, redundancy, and mission success at all costs. The cockpit is large compared to most combat aircraft, built to house a multi-member crew responsible for navigation, weapons systems, communications, and flight control during extremely long missions. The panels are filled with switches, dials, and upgraded digital displays, showing a blend of old-school Soviet engineering and modern avionics. Everything inside is designed for reliability, not beauty. Every system has a backup, and often a backup for the backup. If one navigation system fails, another can take over. If digital controls go down, manual systems remain available. Beyond the cockpit, the interior space allows crew members to move, stretch, and manage fatigue during flights that can last well over 10 hours. This is not something people usually associate with combat aircraft, but strategic bombers operate on a different scale. The Tu-160 was designed to carry nuclear weapons across continents, meaning the human element had to be carefully considered. Pressurized compartments, environmental control systems, and even basic rest facilities are part of the aircraft's internal design. Hidden deeper inside are the massive weapons bays, capable of carrying long-range cruise missiles that represent some of the most powerful tools in Russia's arsenal. If Ukraine gained access to this internal layout, even briefly, the intelligence value would be priceless. Performance is another reason the Tu-160 commands so much respect and fear. Powered by 4 Nk-32 afterburning turbofan engines, it is the fastest strategic bomber currently in service anywhere in the world. Capable of exceeding Mach 2 at altitude, it can outrun many fighter aircraft under the right conditions. Its variable sweep wings allow it to adapt to different flight phases, spreading wide for efficient cruising and sweeping back for high-speed dash. Combined with an intercontinental range exceeding 12,000 kilometers, the Tu-160 can reach almost any point on the globe with aerial refueling support. This combination of speed and range makes it extremely difficult to intercept or neutralize once airborne. Safety features on the Tu-160 are built around the idea that failure is not an option. Multiple redundant flight control systems ensure the aircraft remains controllable even if damaged. Fire suppression systems protect engines and fuel tanks from catastrophic failure. Reinforced structures allow the bomber to survive stresses associated with high-speed flight and long-term fatigue. The crew is protected by ejection seats capable of operating across a wide range of speeds and altitudes, something that is absolutely essential in an aircraft that routinely flies faster than sound. Defensive systems, including electronic countermeasures and decoys, help the bomber survive in contested environments by confusing enemy radars and missiles. So why would Ukraine target something like the Tu-160, even indirectly? The answer lies in modern warfare's emphasis on strategic disruption. You do not need to destroy an entire fleet to change the balance. Damaging one aircraft, exposing vulnerabilities, or capturing sensitive data can force an enemy to ground its fleet, relocate assets, or invest massive resources into repairs and upgrades. The Tu-160 fleet is relatively small, which means every single aircraft matters. Losing even one, or believing one has been compromised, can significantly reduce operational confidence. The price of the Tu-160 reflects its complexity and importance. Estimates place the cost of each aircraft at around $500 million, considering development, engines, avionics, weapons integration, and long-term maintenance. Unlike mass-produced fighters, these bombers are hand-built, heavily customized machines. This makes them extremely expensive to replace and slow to modernize. Any loss or compromise therefore carries not just a financial cost but a strategic one. It also carries symbolic weight, because the Tu-160 is often used in high-profile patrols and exercises meant to demonstrate Russia's global reach. After the reports involving Ukraine surfaced, analysts noticed subtle but significant changes. Russian strategic aviation operations appeared to shift. Security around bomber bases increased. Some aircraft were reportedly relocated farther from potential threats. Rhetoric from official channels became more intense, emphasizing deterrence and readiness. Whether these changes were directly linked to the Tu-160 story or part of broader wartime adjustments, the timing raised eyebrows. In warfare, perception can be just as powerful as reality. Even the belief that a strategic asset has been compromised can force costly changes. The unique selling points of the Tu-160 explain why this story resonated worldwide. It is the largest and fastest operational strategic bomber ever built. It carries a massive payload of advanced cruise missiles. It has intercontinental range and nuclear capability. And perhaps most importantly, it represents a specific philosophy of power projection based on visibility and intimidation rather than stealth. The Tu-160 is meant to be seen, tracked, and recognized as a message. That message loses some of its strength if the aircraft is no longer perceived as untouchable. This incident, whether fully confirmed or not, highlights a broader shift in warfare. Advanced technology no longer guarantees absolute security. Drones can reach deep into territory. Cyber operations can expose secrets without firing a shot. Intelligence sharing can multiply the impact of even small successes. Ukraine's ability to challenge Russian strategic assets, directly or indirectly, shows how asymmetric tactics can level the playing field against much larger forces. In the end, the Tu-160 remains a formidable aircraft. Its speed, range, and payload still make it a cornerstone of Russian strategic aviation. But the story surrounding Ukraine and the Tu-160 has changed how the world looks at it. No longer is it seen as a distant, unreachable symbol operating beyond the chaos of conventional war. It is now part of that chaos, vulnerable to the same uncertainties and risks that define modern conflict. This is why the Tu-160 story matters. It is not just about one bomber or one operation. It is about how quickly the balance of power can shift when information, intelligence, and innovation collide with traditional military might. As this conflict continues to evolve, the skies will remain a critical domain, and the fate of aircraft like the Tu-160 will continue to shape the future of warfare.